Hey, I'm John. This is Spanky, also known as Spankadank or Will the Beast. And we are gonna try and review the PetHey wireless collar. And we're gonna check it out. We think it'd be a good product for the lake maybe. So we're gonna see how this thing works. Okay, let's go inside and unbox it. Okay, here it is. It's just like it comes in the box for the Wireless F900 Plus is what we're reviewing. Gives you a good training guide and user manual. And here is the main controller, I guess we could call it. Here's the main collar unit. All right, in this box comes the charging cable, the contact points, the test light tool, and like these little boundary flags. So these are gonna be important. Go ahead and get these open. Those are the contact points. I'll show you those later. All right, so this is the little test tool that that you can use to see where the boundaries are and make sure the collar is working. And these are little boundary flags they give to you, and it comes, you know, wrapped up in like these little rubber bands. But this is what you'll stick in the yard to kind of show the pet where you need to have a fence. And then that's just the charging cord for the battery, for the collar. This is the remote holder. This is like the heaviest thing. I mean, this is heavier than this, but I think the intent is that you set it up and it can have its own little stand. We'll go through that later. It's kind of heavy and it fits back and forth like this. Here is the little band that goes with the main collar. And it seems pretty sturdy. It kind of feels sort of rubbery, not like totally plastic and not like completely rubber, just sort of a rubbery plastic. Gosh, I would say this is probably easily 24 inches long. I'm guessing. I'll put the specs down there, but the holes, you know, I would say even if your dog was smaller, I don't know if they recommend that, but you could easily punch more holes in this collar. I mean, you've put it on the very last one. That's a pretty big dog's neck right there. The contact points, they come with two sizes of contact points. And when I first looked at the larger size, my dog, as you've seen, is really hairy. And when I first looked at the larger size of the contact points, I thought there is no way that my dog, you know, but I got to looking, we also, like I mentioned, have a pet fence. And so I think the contact points are actually similar in size. So what I think you're supposed to do is take it and then take the main collar and then you screw it in here like so. And you know, again, I thought initially that'd be too small, but after comparing it to we have a pet fence, underground pet fence at our house, and I think it's probably about the same. So I think these, you know, you can see about how there's probably about an inch from the tip of this node here to the base of the collar. And then again, here's the test thing that you would put on there and make sure it's working right. I think that's how it goes. And then the little band slips through here. We cover that and goes over the top. The training guide is just what you'd expect. It kind of takes you through how to do it, you know, setting up your little screen, and then it goes through the two main modes of the dog fence system and then the keep out system. Pretty thorough. Looks pretty good. The user manual gives you the technical stuff. And this looks like, well, I got all English here, so usually it's like 17 languages. But it gives you the training mode, and then with the two user modes that you're going to use the most are the fence mode and the forbidden mode. Again, the fence mode keeps them inside the fence, and then the forbidden mode makes them make sure that they don't go where you don't want them to go. Shows you how to set it all up. I'm going to key it up real quick. And I'd already charged it a little bit before I did this. Training mode, fence mode, and forbidden mode. You know, I guess you don't really, I mean, you could use pretty much anything. These are really small. If it were me, I probably would you can go to like a home supply store and they sell little flags. They're a lot, you know, bigger than this if you needed more. I'd probably just train the dog on one set of flags just so they can know. Here's the collar itself. Here's the power button. This is how you charge it. The other end of this is like a regular USB port. You plug it in use the same cord, plug it in right there. There's telling me, I think, that the motherboard here has a full charge. My collar has a 3/4 charge. The alarm is on, the volume is on level 1, and the vibration is on level 2. That's the fence. If I go into fence mode, there you can set the fence mode. Right now it's standing on a boundary of 20 feet. Working mode, and it's on vibrate. You see that little icon right there. So if I go into forbidden mode, maybe it's because it's so close. Yes, it's vibrating now. So the controller beeps, and this collar is vibrating. That's what you're hearing. See, it's kind of ratcheting up the vibration. So training mode is just where you come in, and it's just like this. Those are 2 modes: fence mode and forbidden mode. Boundary adjustment, the tone level, volume level, and then this button pairs it with your collar. All right, so we did this last week and it worked, so we're just gonna repeat it this week. And I know, like most of you review things, you want to see all the setup and the first time he goes to it. But Spanky is already trained on an underground collar, and so like he knows when the collar beeps, he needs to go away. And we just put it up last week and tried it, and it worked. So we're gonna repeat it this week. So this is the collar, and so now I'm gonna put it on. I forgot to turn the collar on. Let's hold that down. Yep. We're going to turn the controller on. You might, yeah, I shouldn't have turned it on because it's like right here behind me. I want to turn it on actually where we want him to stay away from. I don't want to confuse him over here. But while you're videoing, I do want to show we're doing this outside, and like my one idea for this company is make it waterproof, but that might make it really expensive. And so I'm in Alabama, and so you know I'm just a redneck, right? So I'm doing the redneck solution to make it waterproof, which my wife like hates that I do these things, but I put it inside 2 sandwich bags. Yeah. So because one, you know, just might fail, and so you got a double proof against failure. For 2 Ziploc sandwich bags, it fits right in there. And so then we can just put it outside and not have to worry about it getting wet. And when I get ready, I'm going to turn it on and put it where we want it to stay out. Hey, it's really bright right here, but I want to get you right here to show you what the real world application of this is. You see the little flag right there? Spanky is trained on an underground fence. So what we would do is we would just get little flags and put them up. We don't have an underground fence here, and he would just kind of mind it. But when the water is going down seasonally here at Lake Martin, that exposed a little corridor, and Sneaky Spanky was running through this little area right here and going to visit the neighbors. So the real world test was, I'm just going to use their collar and just turn it on into keep out mode. And I'm just going to sit it right there like I did last weekend. And last weekend he tried it, it beeped, and he never went back. So I don't want to film him, like I don't want to pull him over here because I don't want to confuse him. But I just want to show you how I set it up, because like it worked the first time, so we were really excited. So I'm gonna turn it on and bring it over here. All right, it's on now. And so because I want to keep him out of this corridor, I'm just gonna sit it right here. That's it, really. So another mod we did was just getting a little mesh bag to hang it from this tree. And again, I know this is like Alabama redneck engineering, but that way we figure the radius can stretch out a little bit farther and gets it off the ground so another dog doesn't like chew it or something. And here's a tip too that I've noticed. When you put it on your pet or your dog, in my case, I always just turn them on both at the same time. They start beeping at each other. So I would say my tip there is to turn it on the training mode, so you both know that they're both powered on. You power on the collar and power on the sender, but do it in training mode so it doesn't beep against you and beep the dog and give them a false recognition. Then once you set it up where you want it to be, then you can turn it on whatever zone you want, or whatever
either the keep out mode or the fence mode.
Hey, we've really enjoyed the PetHey Collar. We ended up testing just the keep out mode, so I'd like to do a future video where I do the wireless fence mode, but the keep out mode worked so well. We just started using it and using it and using it, and we used it pretty much all summer here at the lake. We plan to make this as part of our kind of go bag for our dog, for Spanky back there, because if we're visiting relatives, we can put it as a keep out area and kind of leave them unattended if it makes sense for that. So we're impressed. It works really well. But again, I'd like to do the wireless fence, and then I'd also like to test it with a dog that is not familiar with underground fences, because like I said, he picked it up so fast, we didn't even have to use those orange keep out flags with him. Spanky just picked it right up, and it worked great. Again, my biggest improvements physically would be if it kind of came in a waterproof case. I had to kind of, you know, good old boy engineer it and put it in a plastic bag and like hang it on a tree. But otherwise, we're super impressed with the PetHey Collar. We recommend it. It's become part of our go bag with our dog. Spanky says he likes it. He's back there chewing on a tennis ball, I guess. But anyway, we had fun making this video. I hope to make others. If you have questions about the collar, leave me comments below. I'll try to answer them. And here's some bloopers that we had some fun with while we were taping. Zoomies is what we call the zoomies. Not exactly good for videography, the zoomies. Zoomies. You wanna step on my hand? Wanna test this thing out? Are you excited to test this out? Let's test it out, let's go.